it's pretty incredible, like what can happen when you have the right strategy and, and to see that growth happen so quickly. Now, speaking of growth happening quickly, my next guest, Heidi, I'm going to bring up here in a second. What I love about Heidi is that Heidi, she just got going. One of my favorite things about Heidi is that she is willing to try and experiment new ideas all the time. And what you'll see and hear is how some of those ideas stick, some of them don't, but she's just doubled down on the ones that have. And oh my goodness, she's just continued to grow. So Heidi, how the heck are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for jumping on and sharing with us today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Okay, so let's give people some quick background. Who is it that you serve?
Okay, so I teach women how to make money teaching paint parties online, in person, and with art kits. So before COVID, we were mainly just teaching in person. We had to totally pivot our whole membership because everything switched to online. And so now my members are selling art kits. They're starting to do Facebook Lives and do online stuff. And something really cool, Stu, a lot of my members that are on the success path at stage 4 and stage 5 in Paint Party headquarters are actually doing their founding members launch. And Jamie Norvell already, she had booked 7 parties. She did what I told her to do in Paint Party headquarters. She confirmed 7 in-person paint parties the beginning of March. And then COVID happened. They all had to be postponed. And so she was kind of like taken back, like, oh, this sucks. What are we going to do? Well, of course, like you said, I go into action, right? I took action, filmed a ton of stuff so that I could help them do online paint parties. She ended up doing the Facebook Live, scared, terrified. And she's already launched an Art in the AM membership and has 9 members.
Yeah.
And then Yvette, one of my Paint Party headquarter members, she launched and has 20 members. And this is just a couple of the members that are in my membership. So I just want to say thank you for helping them. That's so cool.
It's so fun to see. And, one of the things that was fun last Sunday, you and I did a virtual paint party with our family. So, Amy, the kids, and I, we were painting a cheeky monkey, and you and your family were leading us through it. And it was so fun. And I said to Amy afterwards, I'm like, this is an amazing experience to have with, the kids, and they were totally engrossed in it and had a ton of fun. It was just a fun activity. And I think that this is part of that innovation, where, COVID has, certainly thrown a monkey wrench into a whole bunch of different businesses, but it's also created opportunity that we didn't even see, being available to us before. And so I'm excited by that. And that was a fun experience to kind of see how that played out. But one thing that I want to talk to you about is, why did you end up wanting to go to a membership in the first place? So, because your membership's now coming up on 2 years, is that right?
So Sunday we opened the doors and we are at our 2-year anniversary. So I'm freaking out. We are near 800 people and we expect to welcome in hundreds of more people based on what you have taught us and the things that we've been doing. But so, I taught for 10 years and then I started teaching paint parties. We went bankrupt over 10 years ago. And so when I was a full-time teacher, I literally thought, like, that's my dream job. I'm going to be an art teacher forever. And that's what I'm going to do. And I just kept feeling this pull, like, y'all know it out there. If you're an entrepreneur by spirit, like, you just always have that feeling in your gut and you can't stop it. And I remember having a conversation with my husband in the kitchen one day, and I was like, I just feel so guilty. I feel guilty that I finally got the dream I've wanted since I was 14 years old to be an art teacher, but I'm doing these paint parties and I feel this pull that I need to be teaching paint parties full time. And so I feel like, like God gives us these dreams, and then once we fulfill them, I feel like now we have permission to fulfill another dream. And so that's, one day I was in the classroom and I just let all my 5th grade students out. We had an art club. And I was sitting like in the railway, like the little door of the classroom. If you're a teacher and you have a window and a brand new kiln, like that's like where it's at. Like, we love that. And it hit me and it was like, oh my gosh, I've fulfilled this dream. Like now I can dream more. And so I ended up going on to teach full-time paint parties. And then I just, again, had this nudge in my stomach, like, okay, I got to, have something else too. Like I need to have something else. And, when you go and search for something, you usually find it. And so I just went on this, whole thing of trying to figure out how to do stuff online, having, several ways to bring in money because of my financial disaster that I've been very open about in the past recent years. And I never, ever, ever wanted to put my family in that position again. So I've always said, I need to have several ways to bring in money. So that's how it happened. And then people kept asking, like, how are you doing? Stu left. I don't know where he went.
No, I'm coming. I'm getting my stool. Sorry, Heidi. I was trying to get my stool here so I could sit. There we go.
It's okay. I was like, he's gone. He's just shrinking down. I don't know what happened. So really how it happened is usually how it always happens for people. You start having success teaching something and people ask you about it. So I would do these paint parties and people would be, head counting, and they knew how much they paid per person to come to these paint parties. And they were like, that's like $4,000. Like, how are you doing this, in one night? And I was, teaching, I didn't make that in a month, And so I looked, like the previous person, like, is there somebody out there that could teach me this? And instead there was nobody out there. So I started running little boot camps, and then Patty Palmer told me about you, and just so grateful for her and what she's done. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. So when I signed up for Tribe in 2018, May I launched, and I literally was about to quit all of it in August of 2018. So I took the course, and then I was going to quit.
And so, because talk to me about this, because you did get off to a pretty decent start. You had, was it like over 100 members, right?
I had almost 100 members. I was still teaching paint parties full time. But I was just like, what is going on? I brought my paper plate to show people. Here's how I kept track of launch numbers. And I even had on here, like, torture till end of that launch. I wrote that on this time. And the reason I'm sharing this, and again, I'm almost at 800 members now, and we're about to well surpass 1,000 members. The reason I share this is because if you look on Sunday, 6 people joined. I had put every single thing, Stu, I did everything. And I was like, what is going on? And I just kept at it and kept at it. And then it's like everybody joined on Thursday. Like I'm sure tonight, everybody's going to join Tribe tonight. And it is torture because you're like, you're doing this and everybody waits to that last minute. And so what we did was, I was about to apply for another teaching job. And my husband came in and he said, no, he's like, you have been at this for so many years, you're not quitting. And so we started, looking at our finances, and we wrote down every single thing that we spent money on. And we realized that I was making $6,000 to $7,000 a month doing my paint parties and my membership. And so if I would have quit and gone back to teaching, I would have been back down to under $3,000 a month. So I would have given my family a significant loss in income. So once I saw what we were doing, I was like, game on, it's on. And so then we just would launch, I'd tweak, relaunch, tweak, and it's just been this snowball. And so that's why we are so freaking excited for Sunday, because we don't know what's going to happen, but we kind of do know what's going to happen because of what you've taught us.
Well, it's been amazing to watch, and to see how you have in 2 years have grown it from start to now, as you said, after you're already at 800, and after this launch you'll be well beyond 1,000. And it's just so fun to see how for you, like, once you got locked in, it's like, okay, this is generating significant revenue for me and my family. Now's the time where I'm going to double down on it. And it's been so fun for me to watch how creative you have gotten. You have just been so willing to try different ideas and experiment. And I love, you send me updates all the time. And, this is, people will learn, like, this is one of the things that, light me up the most. And it's just been fun to see you experiment. So what have been, real quick, like, as we wrap up here, like, what have been some fun experiments and things that you've tried that have worked well to grow your membership?
Okay, so I love funnels. A lot of people don't know this about me, but funnels, Brunson, oh my gosh, his ClickFunnels, I am such a geek. I am always in funnels, creating different things and tweaking and changing. I'm really, really obsessed. That's been one of the things that I love doing. And out of my membership has has spun off Paint Party Outer Limits, is where I get to kind of teach all of that marketing stuff that I love. Because what I have found is that most creatives, most people like me, we feel more than the average person. We're very sensitive souls. And when we create something beautiful, we automatically think it should be for free. And so what I have found is that we love doing the art part of it, but we have trouble doing the marketing part of it. And so I absolutely love both. I'm pretty sure equally. And so that's why Paint Party headquarters, I'm like, come on, y'all, this is what you need to do. And then another really big tip has been collaboration. So I know you've talked a lot about the Creative Club and all of, the girls in there and how we've all kind of grown our businesses together and just collaborating with each other and supporting each other. And that has been a huge help. And that's really helped push all of our businesses to the next level too. So funnels and collaboration, love it.
Amazing. Okay, so for somebody who's thinking about joining Tribe, what would you say to them?
Oh my gosh. I think the main thing I wanted to say is, as a creative, because most of the people who know me are creatives, they're artsy, they're crafty. We base a lot of decisions on emotion. And so here's how I base my decision. I sent out an email this morning, and I know it sounds morbid, so I just want to prepare y'all. But like when I am 98 years old on my deathbed, like I want to look back on this life with no regrets. So when I look at a course like Tribe for $2,000 and I look at like what could happen, I always base my decision on, okay, what if I paid that and nothing happened? Which won't, but what if I paid that and nothing happened? Like, am I going to be 98 on my deathbed going, man, I wish, like, what could have happened? If my husband would have let me give up, like, I'd be doing my normal thing. There's nothing wrong with teaching. I did it for 10 years. I loved it. It was my dream job. But what could have happened if I didn't keep going? And now, we're on the cusp of course, we should be blowing past the 1,000 number, plus the chance of my husband during COVID, he went down to 5 hours a week. He pretty much lost his job. And so it was all my responsibility. And in the past, I'd have been, freaking out. And then the last thing I want to say is, so many of my creative people, we think that there's only one way to make money. And I think this, again, has pushed them. I've been telling people, do Facebook Lives. It's the best way. Do Facebook Lives. And now they're doing Facebook Lives. And they're seeing the results. And then not only seeing the results, but all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, there is opportunity everywhere. Everywhere, especially for artists, because people are stopping to watch you paint. You start painting and painting something cool, people stop on a Facebook Live because they want to watch. And so I just really, really want to make sure that the creatives know out there that it is okay to learn marketing skills. It is part of your job. You can be the best painter, you can be the best person, you can be the best anything. But if you don't know how to market yourself, nobody will know about you. And if they don't know about you, you can't help them. So I think it does a disservice when you sit there and I can't market, I can't learn to market, and all of these things and all of these fears. So I love our creatives so much. And sometimes people are like, why are you training up your competition? And I'm like, there's billions of people. Like, I can't help billions of people, but with all of us together, we can. So that's my take on it.
Well, I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much for sharing and sharing your story of 2 years ago, starting the membership, and now 800 members and about to eclipse 1,000 with the upcoming promo. I'm excited for you.
Thank you so much.